Old fields provide another set of opportunities for wildlife, but they'll need active management if you want to maximize the wildlife benefits from them. In this video, we take a look at old field habitat and the factors that you'll want to consider when managing for wildlife. You probably have some part of your land that was once in production, either for crops, pasture, or timber, and for some reason that land has been left idle and not managed in a long time. The old field may be dominated by one or two species, say naturally regenerating oaks mixed with briar, or possibly loblolly pine interspersed with broom straw. This would be considered old field habitat. Managing old fields for wildlife may be as simple as identifying naturally regenerating trees that you want to save, and then regularly managing the brush and shrub component. By doing this, you move toward a mix of physical communities that will include the herbaceous layer, a small shrub component, and a few good trees. Let's look at some of the factors that make good old field habitat. The first factor you want to consider in your old field is the native herbaceous community. You'll want a significant percentage of your field to be covered in early herbaceous vegetation rather than scrub or brush. Next, when you look at your herbaceous community, you'll want to see as many different native grasses, legumes, and forbs as possible. Ideally, you want to see a minimum of 5 different species. Remember, the more variety in your herbaceous layer, the more birds and other wildlife they will attract. The second factor is to identify how often you use disturbance, in the form of fire or disking, to manage your brush and scrub component. Of course, when you remove the brush and scrub layer, you also promote the growth of your herbaceous layer. Remember, you're not looking to eliminate your scrub component completely, but you do want to keep it in check. The third factor to manage is the distance from any part of the old field to woody cover. Ideally, this woody cover is connected to permanent cover, like a forest of 10 acres or more. As with your cropland evaluation, you're looking for opportunities for escape to permanent cover, especially for birds. Woody cover may be in the form of trees, clumps of scrub, or even brush piles. If you find that you have a turf grass like Bermuda or Bahia grass in your old field, it will dominate your herbaceous community and move the ground layer toward a turfgrass monoculture. Turf grasses are of little value to many wildlife species like quail. If you have a dominant turf grass in your old field, you'll have to consider removing it with herbicide first and then following up by re-establishing native grasses through planting. If you think you can use fire as a management tool for your brushy and scrubby component, establish fire lanes and divide your property into small, manageable plots where you can burn each plot every 3rd year. If fire is something you'd rather not consider, you can still divide your fields into 3s and disc them on a 3-year rotational basis. Keep in mind that with disking, you'll have to follow up with herbicide to spot treat for undesired woody vegetation. You may already have some naturally regenerating trees, in which case you'll want to protect them when you're managing your brush and unwanted woody vegetation. You may also consider tree planting if no suitable species are available. Brush piles will also make great cover for wildlife, including ground birds, rabbits, and reptiles. Remember that with good planning and by consulting wildlife experts, you can save yourself a lot of time and trouble. Contact your nearest NRCS office for more information about old field habitats. Up next, we'll look at wetland habitat.